Good morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo First here in Tsama, Nafshi, Yerushalyim, HaKodesh. We are located on HaKodesh number 6 in the Beit Knesset of Yeshivas, and we're not too far from the Temple bus station. So you can walk from there, take a bus, you get a car, there's parking across the street, and especially if you're coming from Putzmars, we'd like to invite you to join us for a shirim. We will personalize your shirim as much as we possibly can, and we'd like to help enrich and make your visit to Yerushalyim as full with Torah as possible. So we're only in our first year now, usually about 9 o'clock. Pirkei Avos. We are exploring several points. Specifically, we're going to go directly now to what we were discussing last, the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah. That's on page 2 on our sheets. The second reference on the page. Let's just review what the mimer of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Yaakov, would like to read that?
Sure. Demar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Kol Ma'aseh Bereshit L'Kamatan, B'Sorat Hashes. What is this plus B'Sorat Hashes?
There are certain explanations that are brought down in different gearses, different versions. So that was it's either Komosan, right? Likomosan with a Lamed, Likumosan, or Bikumosan. There are different versions of what the text should be.
So Kol Ma'aseh Bereshit L'Kamatan, Nivra'u. All acts of creation were made sort of already fully formed. L'Datan Nivra'u. Actually, I did some homework on this actually. Mm-hmm. There's actually two interpretations of what this means.
The sheet doesn't reflect the Yerushalyim, but maybe we'll get into it. But there's the you have to see closer. So there's the Rashba. You saw the Ritva.
Yeah.
Ritva is critical of Rashi in some respects.
So with that time, this could either mean apparently according to their agreement or with full knowledge.
Yeah. Okay, full knowledge, right.
Let's be Yunan, Nivra'u. This could either mean like perfect or beautiful or something like this.
In their perfection, right? In their or like with all their accessories, with all completeness. Yeah.
Shenet Mar Vayachul Shemayim V'Aretz or Kol Tzava'am. Al Tikri Tzava'am, don't read their hosts. Ela Tzvi Tzvinam.
You like with their embellishments. Like so when it's like colors, like also like colors, like their embellishments, all their necessary perfections. Okay, so let's see the Yeshiva Sagonim. Okay, we saw Rashi last time. Maybe today we'll go back to Rashi. We'll go back to Rashi eventually. Maybe get into the closest and we'll see the Ritva is especially important to see. Maybe we'll see how far we want to get into this. Okay, Yeshiva Sagonim. Next.
Yeshiva Sagonim. Harifvei Siman Shin Pei Gimel. This is a certain sefer.
Yeshiva Sagonim. That was the Gaonim, or the period of Chachamim after the Tinoim Amoraim, and then followed by the Gaonim. That was after Golos. Most of them were in Golos at the time.
What is HaKodesh?
That's one of the Svarim that's based on the Tshuvos of the Gaonim.
Okay. Haida Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Kol Ma'aseh Bereshit L'Kamatan Nivra'u. Let's be non-Nivra'u. Yesh Sheparshu, those who expound or explain, Shekol Min Ramin Ba'alei Chaim Bara HaMakom Kamohu.
Berikia.
Let's translate. And those who say that every kind of Ba'al Chaim. Living thing?
Yeah, each type of life being, right? Every living being.
Every living thing is created by
HaKodesh is the HaKodesh.
Kamo like the Kia.
Kamohu Birikia. There are those who explain that each and every type of life, every species of life, right, was created by HaKodesh Baruch Hu, a corresponding spiritual counterpart in the Rikia, in the heavens.
Okay. Mimin Hamalachim
Haruchanim.
Haruchanim. Is this two different words?
I'm looking from the angels, the spiritual angels, meaning the spiritual forces, meaning each life creature here in this world, in the beginning was created, it had like a prototype, let's call it that, a type of a prototype that exists in a spiritual form in the spiritual world.
Va'amar lahan haya'af.
Hey, ata rotza l'shivro.
Like how?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Va'amar, and it is said, or it was
Well,
said.
I mean, I think this is referring to HaKodesh Baruch Hu, or HaKodesh Baruch Hu said lehen to them, right? HaKodesh Baruch Hu said to them, these spiritual prototypes that were created even before they came into this world, right? There was a spiritual prototype which was created, right? And, right, HaKodesh Baruch Hu said to each one of these spiritual prototypes,
Va'amar lahan ha'ach atarot she'avra. Hashem said to them, how do you want that I should create
Kamocha ba'olam.
how do you want I should create like you in the world? So
Right.
you have your choice of how you want to appear in the world.
Right. How would you like to appear in the world?
That's very interesting.
Yeah, why?
Why is it interesting?
Yeah.
Well, there's this movie called The Matrix, Lahavdil. And people think that there's strangely a lot of like Torah, like Kabbalah, like hidden in the film. And this is sort of like reflected in the movie, this concept. Among other Torah, like things that I've encountered.
One of my favorites all time. Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
I
Loaded with Torah.
I think even Asia Torah promotes it as, promote is a strong word, but they acknowledge that this concept. But the filmmakers, the writer-directors were Gentiles, and they subsequently went crazy, kind of went insane. Well, by insane I mean they had they became women basically. And there were two brothers, and
They switched over.
They switched over, but so it's strange that they of all people could, and I think they're Polish. They of all people could produce like a film that has a strange Kabbalistic Torah concept. Very strange.
Very novel. Well, we have to have a Chumash. We have to have a Chumash session soon. If not today, as soon as possible.
I found one answer from the Baal Torah.
Oh, the Klayoker asked the question before us.
I
it.
saw the Baal Torah.
Okay.
He gives like a matchia from the double Lashon.
Oh, okay, we'll work on that. Are you on page 2 there?
Yeah.
Okay, we just read the Gemara, and we're the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah. I'm Rabbi Yeshiva Levi. All mites of Rashis, Likumasam, Ubikumasam, Nivra. Everything that was created, there's oil created in its full stature. The diaper, whether in its willingness, right? And Sivon, or its perfection. Shenamar brings the pasuk by Yivol Shemayim V'Aretz V'Kol Savon. Al Tikrei says, don't read Sivon, rather Sivonim. Sivonim means like it's with its full accessories, its full perfection, and all its completeness. So now we're learning that the Tshuvas are going in. Maybe Yaakov, just start again, please. Go ahead.
From the Yesh Parshu.
I guess we just read the Yishma Farshu, right? There are those who explain.
Yesh Parshu Shekol Min Liba'al Lechaim Baraham Kamohu Barakia Min Hamalachim Haruchanim. We also explain that every living thing is created by Hashem I guess in the world, as in the heavens or Kia, from the spiritual angels.
Right. So each and every life form in this world, where Hashem created a corresponding prototype in the heavens from the Malachim. There was some type of a spiritual prototype that was created for every life form that's in this world. And what happened? Amr Lahem, HaKodesh Baruch Hu said to all these prototypes of the life forms.
How do you want that I should create you in the world, in the physical world?
How would you like to be created into the physical world? How would you like that your form should be in this world, right? First, he's explained, like, I think each one of these expressions. The first thing, says shibora kamocha olam, is that how would you like that you be created into this world? Number one. How would you like that you should be formed into this world? Legaito bara again. So.
And according to his knowledge,
and actually, like his will or his desire, yeah, his will, his desire, bara, they were created.
Baro, and they were sort of accessorized or made beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
The Sha'anu, Omrim,
right,
and
I think that we say
right.
That's one explanation.
The Sha'anu Omrim, and we say to Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Achi Kameh, Hachika Amar. This is what he needs to say. Hachika Amar. This is what he needs to say. That's Svinunan, V'Latatan, Shel Achshav, Shetzafah HaKodesh Baruch Hu, the Galui Lepanav, that according to their beauty and their knowledge that is now, that is covered, that HaKodesh Baruch Hu covered
Shetzaf HaKodesh Baruch Hu, that HaKodesh Baruch Hu foresaw. As it is now, right? HaKodesh Baruch Hu foresaw like what it would be as now in the created world.
The Galui Lefanav, Baro, and it was revealed before him that which his creation, that which he would create.
Yeah, what's that? Galui Lefanav was revealed before Kadosh Baruch Hu. Kishiru ma tihei daiton v'tzivonim. Lefihu bara. It was Kadosh Baruch Hu foresaw, and it was revealed before him that when they would be created, this would be their understanding and their willingness and their all their embellishments, right? Lefihu, right? Meaning, knowing that in the future, HaKodesh Baruch Hu now, at the time of creation, went back and borrowed. He created them. Akshav.
And now after everything was created, we say, Kidatan v'tzvinunan, shehi akshav, lama nivru me'az. That according to their knowledge and their embellishments, that he, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the Akshav, Achish Nivru, and now after they have been all created, Anu Omri, we say, what from our perspective, we say, Ki daitan v'tzivoinam she'ei akshav lama nivra ma'az. That we say that it's according to their will and their embellishments, that they are what they are now. That's why they were created at that point. Based on what they are now, we understand that that's why and how they were created originally. So I'm not sure, I'm not, it's kind of circular, the reason is a bit circular here, so I'm not really clear on, I have to go over this a few more times. Let's see, let's go further to the end, and we'll see.
Asher Matan, the Katan, the Kamatan, Lishana, the Ramatan, the Kamatan.
It's Lishna the Revusa Bikumasan. It's Asher Amart, when you say Vikasata and it's written Bikumasan, right? Lishna the Revusa Bikumasan. It's a chiddush that they were referred to as in their stature. What does it explain? What does it mean that in their stature, right?
So the canon.
Right. Okay. He's giving an example of what we're talking about based on a different Gemara.
The canon Masur Adam Yamod al Sadeh Chavevron. It's other for man to stand upon the field of his like friend and colleague, the Sha'asha Amadot, the Kamutan. I'm not really sure what this means.
Right. There's a Gemara, right, that says it's usher. A person cannot go to a field of somebody else, and when the wheat, for example, is in full bloom, standing high in the field, it's forbidden for a person to go and stand and look at the field of his friend in its full maturity, right? Because that's going to give an ayin hara to the person who has the field. Another person's going to look at it, and he's going to say, maybe jealously, look how this guy's field is doing. And the Chazal stepped in and said it's forbidden to go and even look at it because of the concern that a person shouldn't look jealously at somebody else's belongings. And it's specifically in that time when the field is now laden with its, for the example, with its wheat. But before it's mature and fully laden, so there's nothing really to be jealous about. But now that it's fully laden and mature wheat, ready to be harvested, so now you step in and make something forbidden because there is a chashash that there might be jealousy and horror perhaps also involved, hezekriya, what we call calls hezekriya, damage to looking at things, yeah, and therefore he's using this as an example. Kumasa means that it's at full maturity. Only when it's in its full maturity, right, does this issur exist. Right? Before that it doesn't exist. Only at its full maturity, then it's forbidden to do such a thing. Gam K.
One quick question.
Yes.
This is from a pasuk in Torah?
A pasuk?
Yeah, you can't stand all.
No, it's the Rabban. It's not the Rabban. It's not the Rabban.
V'gam came Omrim Ne'ematan Adam Yarash et Ishto, and also we say that when a man inherits from his wife, it's not Beit
Shammai Omrim. That's Beit Shammai Omrim.
Right. His little one.
Well, Yarash Ishto Katana, meaning, let's say he married a woman when she was still below age, right? Right? So when is it permissible, well not permissible, when is a man, if the woman goes, when does he inherit his wife, who's a Katana? Shamomim, right?
From the time that she stands at a fully grown
mature, right. So we're not talking about years, we're talking about like the physical mental maturity. So these things, this really these two Gemoras as a proof that we're talking about komoso being in its maturity. So The main point that he mentioned in the first explanation was that there was these spiritual prototypes that were created furthermore, previous to the actual coming into this world. They, with their opinion and taken, they were asked, so to speak, by God, how they wanted to be brought into this world. And so therefore that brings us back to what we were discussing last week about the Sefer Rabbeinu Yosher, Rabbeinu Tam. Let's just look at one more final report for today. Take a look at that now. Sefer Yosher, go ahead.
Sefer Yosher.
Yeah, that Vav is extra.
Tzurich Adam Lizaher Be'et Hazot. A man has to be careful in this time.
We were talking about that's when the time of the Peronius, right? That's going back to out this guy's when the Peronius. This is what Rabbeinu Tam was teaching us about that.
Yedaki Alzer Tanai Baba Brit Im Elohav. And you should know that because of this, the condition came in the Brit with his God, the covenant with his God.
And so when the difficult, not necessarily difficult times, when challenges come can come because of good things, challenges come because of difficult things, right? But when the challenges come, the person has to realize at that time, right, that it was with this condition he entered into a covenant with the HaKodesh Baruch.
And afterwards, after that, he gave the Nafshi. I'm not sure if this is. And since, after in this case it's since, and since there has been this conditional stipulation with himself to serve the HaKodesh Baruch. Yeah? Okay. So equal Ashlem Nedero L'Kayim Israel. He must complete his vow to uphold the Isser. Right. Well, that's like issue in this case is like binding. Which is binding. His binding agreement, like to comply with his binding agreement. Right. That's Isra. Isra also Isra Chad. Isra binding. The Isra also Mati Isuri. Right. Was in the work of the Shaka. Mati Isuri. Those were bound. Those were binding. Like it was like a binding agreement. Also, yeah, Easter Chag, I'll have it there. Exactly. Tzarich lo hachin le'azek ha'mitz l'kadel or the happenings, ha'me'orot. Yeah, those are events. That which happens. And he must establish his heart to be strong and strength and be fortified or of strong courage to receive everything that happens to him. Yachshov behem terem ba'olam, and he should think about them even before they happen, even before they come. Like consider what they happen to him before it happens. Right, he has to anticipate these things, right? The retain what's the hand yes. Expect them. Call Yom V'chol Sha'ah V'chol Chodesh every day, every hour, every month. V'yamru and V'yamer V'yamru should say in his heart, Im lo yavo'u hayom be'arot. If it doesn't come today, yavo'u l'machar. It'll come tomorrow. Im lo yavo'u l'machar, yavo'u la'achar b'char. I'll come back to it tomorrow. Okay, so very good. So that's the explanations we've had now. what the promise, what the covenant, the promise, and the vow are, and different aspects with the HaKodesh Baruch Hu. We just like the Ma'aseh Bereshis was created and were asked, the prototypes were asked, so to speak, what they would be like in this world, how they would function, and we likewise, the first way is the Gemara Nida, which we mentioned, that person has to swear to be a tzaddik.
before he comes, before he's born into this world. And also now you have similarly these covenants and these vows, which also, before we come into this world, we've been given already a preview of what we are to be expected to do and accomplish in this world. So at the time when the challenges come, you have to realize that now is the time to fulfill these vows and these pacts and these promises to HaKodesh Baruch Hu. So because when things are more or less day after day normal, so to speak, so you have to just keep an even keel. But when things are challenging, then you have to realize that now you have to really pay attention and realize that it was on this condition we came into the world. And then Mitzvah Hashem, maybe tomorrow we'll start going back to the Maimer Shmuel Katan about Noifel Yivrecha Al Tisma. Shouldn't rejoice in the failings of your enemy. We'll try to get back to that Mitzvah Hashem. Okay.